September 6, 2025, began like any other day in Subic Bay. The sun crept over the horizon, painting the sky in soft hues of orange and pink. Fishermen, as they had for generations, cast their nets into the gentle waves, their boats bobbing quietly in the early morning calm. Along the narrow streets, children made their way to school, their laughter mingling with the distant calls of seabirds. The air was thick with salt and morning dew, a familiar embrace for the people of this coastal town. Suddenly, the peaceful routine was shattered. A deep, unfamiliar roar echoed across the bay, growing louder by the second until it drowned out every other sound. Heads snapped upward, as a massive U.S. Air Force C-17 Globemaster III appeared, its enormous gray silhouette blotting out the rising sun. The aircraft's presence was impossible to ignore. Its shadow stretched across the water and rooftops, casting a pall over the morning. The plane's landing on the old American naval base was thunderous. A declaration, not a whisper. The ground trembled as its wheels touched down, sending vibrations through the town and into the hearts of its people. Instinctively, people froze in their tracks. Phones came out, hands shaking as they tried to capture the spectacle. Some watched in awe, others in disbelief, all aware that something extraordinary was unfolding before their eyes. For older residents, the sight was a haunting flashback. Memories flooded back of a time when Subic Bay was the largest U.S. naval facility overseas, a bustling hub of military activity, foreign faces and constant movement. For the younger generation, it was history come alive. Stories told by grandparents suddenly felt real, the past colliding with the present in a single, unforgettable moment. The event sent ripples of awe and anxiety through the community. Conversations erupted in markets and homes, speculation swirling about what this arrival could mean for their future. Within minutes, news of the landing exploded worldwide. Social media feeds lit up, hashtags trended, and the world's attention zeroed in on this quiet Philippine bay. International networks aired shaky cell phone footage, replaying the dramatic descent from every angle. Analysts scrambled to interpret the move, debating its implications for regional security and global politics. Questions swirled: why now? What was on board? Was this a show of force, a message, or something more? The world's eyes turned to Subic Bay, searching for answers in the shadow of the giant aircraft. The landing was a bold move in a region already fraught with tension. With disputes simmering in the South China Sea and military alliances shifting, every action was scrutinized, every gesture weighed for its deeper meaning. Subic Bay, once a symbol of peace and routine, was thrust onto the global stage. Its calm waters now reflected the uncertainty of a brewing storm. As the community braced for what might come next, the giant had returned, and with it, a new era of uncertainty. Old wounds and new questions mingled in the salty air, as the people of Subic Bay wondered how their lives would change. The world was watching Subic Bay once again, holding its breath as history unfolded on its shores, and the shadow over the bay grew ever darker. Subic Bay isn't just a port, it's a strategic prize, a place where geography and history collide to shape the future of an entire region. For centuries, this natural harbor has drawn the attention of empires, navies, and traders, all seeking to control its deep, sheltered waters. Sheltered by rugged mountains, Subic Bay's deep waters can host the world's largest warships, from aircraft carriers to submarines, making it a naval safe haven in both peace and wartime. Its natural defenses and vast size mean it can accommodate entire fleets, offering protection from storms and enemy eyes alike. Its location is key, right at the doorstep of the South China Sea, one of the world's busiest and most contested maritime arteries. Over a third of global shipping passes through these waters, carrying trillions of dollars in trade each year. Whoever controls Subic Bay holds a front-row seat to the drama unfolding in these vital sea lanes. From here, navies can project power, monitor shipping, and respond to crises in minutes. Subic Bay is a launch pad for humanitarian missions, disaster relief, and if needed, military operations. Its strategic value is unmatched in the region. For the U.S., access to Subic means a persistent presence in Southeast Asia. No need to sail from distant bases in Hawaii or Guam. American ships and planes can operate closer to hotspots, deterring rivals and reassuring allies. Historically, Subic was the heart of American power in the Pacific. a city-sized base bustling with tens of thousands of sailors, airmen, and support staff, until its closure in 1992. For decades, it was a symbol of U.S. commitment to the region and a linchpin of Cold War strategy. Its reopening, even temporarily, signals a major shift in regional dynamics. The return of foreign military forces to Subic Bay is a clear message. The balance of power in Asia is changing, and old alliances are being revived. For the Philippines, Subic is both an economic engine and a strategic asset. The transformation of the former base into a freeport zone brought new life to the area, creating thousands of jobs and attracting billions in investment. The Freeport Zone has become a hub for trade, logistics, and industry, linking the Philippines to global markets and driving local prosperity. But military use brings global attention and risk. The presence of foreign forces can make Subic a target in times of tension, and not everyone welcomes the return of the military. Protests and debates reflect the complex feelings many Filipinos have about their nation's role on the world stage. The Bay's dual identity puts Manila in a tough spot: prosperity on one hand, geopolitical flashpoint on the other. Balancing economic growth with national security is a constant challenge for Philippine leaders. The U.S. return is loaded with history and consequence, stirring memories of past alliances and raising questions about the future. Will Subic Bay once again become the anchor of American strategy in Asia? Subic Bay is once again at the crossroads of commerce and conflict, where the interests of nations intersect and sometimes collide. Its fate will influence not just the Philippines, but the entire Indo-Pacific region. As the sun sets over Subic Bay, the world watches and waits. The decisions made here will shape the region's future for generations to come. The world's powers are watching closely, knowing that what happens in Subic Bay could tip the balance in one of the world's most important and volatile regions. The South China Sea is a flashpoint. 1/3 of global shipping passes through its waters. Beneath the surface, oil, gas, and rich fisheries. Multiple countries claim parts of the sea, but China's claim is the most sweeping, marked by its 9-dash line. China has built artificial islands, turning reefs into military outposts with runways and missiles. This militarization alarms neighbors and threatens freedom of navigation. In 2016, an international tribunal rejected China's claims, siding with the Philippines. China dismissed the ruling, deepening the stalemate. The dispute pits international law against raw power. The South China Sea remains a dangerous chessboard. Law on one side, might on the other. The world holds its breath. The U.S.-Philippine alliance is built on a 1951 treaty. Each pledges to defend the other. The relationship has ebbed and flowed, but China's assertiveness has brought the allies closer. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement now allows U.S. forces access to key Philippine bases. Joint military exercises have grown in size and complexity, focusing on maritime security and coastal defense. The C-17's arrival at Subic is a powerful symbol. The alliance is real, not just words. For Manila, it's reassurance. For Washington, it's a message to Beijing. The U.S. is ready to deploy quickly and support its ally. The era of distance is over. A new chapter of close cooperation has begun. The alliance is now visible, credible, and ready. The stakes have never been higher. The C-17 is more than a plane. It's a statement. Its cargo is classified, but experts suspect advanced surveillance gear and coastal defense systems, possibly HIMARS or Typhoon missile launchers. These weapons would boost the Philippines' ability to defend its shores and deter aggression. The U.S. is helping its ally build a porcupine defense, hard to attack, costly to challenge. It's not about permanent U.S. troops, but empowering the Philippines. This is the new U.S. strategy: help allies help themselves. The C-17's arrival turned strategy into reality. Hardware, training, and deterrence all delivered in one bold move. The balance of power is shifting. China's response was immediate and fierce. Beijing condemned the U.S. move, calling it a provocation and warning Manila against playing with fire. The Chinese Navy launched snap drills near Philippine waters, sending warships and swarms of Coast Guard vessels. This cabbage strategy surrounds and intimidates without firing a shot. China's message: U.S. support comes with consequences. State media blasted the Philippines as a pawn in America's game. The combination of military muscle and propaganda is classic Beijing. The dragon was provoked, and its roar echoed across the sea. Tensions soared and the world took notice. The stakes had just been raised. Subic Bay's drama is just one move in a vast U.S.-China rivalry across the Indo-Pacific. This strategic location has become a focal point in the ongoing power struggle, symbolizing the broader geopolitical tensions that ripple across the region. This region is the world's new center of gravity, home to half the planet's people and the busiest sea lanes. These waters are not just pathways for commerce but are also vital arteries for global trade, making them a critical area of interest for both superpowers. The U.S. aims to uphold a rules-based order, relying on alliances and freedom of navigation. Through joint exercises and strategic partnerships, America seeks to maintain its influence and ensure that international laws are respected. China seeks a new Sino-centric order, using economic leverage and military modernization to push the U.S. out. Through initiatives like the Belt and Road, China is expanding its reach, aiming to reshape the regional balance of power. Every move, military, diplomatic, economic, is carefully calculated. Each decision is a strategic maneuver in this high-stakes game, where the consequences of missteps could be profound. A U.S. patrol is met by a Chinese drill. These encounters are tense, each side testing the other's resolve and capabilities. A defense pact is countered by an investment deal. These agreements are more than just signatures on paper. They are strategic moves that shift alliances and influence. The rivalry plays out in boardrooms, summits, and the contested seas. Each setting is a battleground where influence is won or lost, shaping the future of the region. The C-17's landing is a message: the U.S. is here to stay. This presence is a reassurance to allies and a warning to adversaries that America remains committed to its role in the region. The Indo-Pacific chessboard is set. Each piece represents a nation, an alliance, or a strategic interest, all poised for the next move. The next moves will shape the century. The world is watching, aware that the outcomes here will reverberate globally, affecting economies and security worldwide. The stakes could not be higher. The decisions made in this region will determine the balance of power for generations to come, making every move critical. For the Philippines, this isn't an abstract game, it's a daily dilemma. The U.S. offers security, China economic opportunity, and threats. Leaning too far toward either giant brings risks: economic pain from China, or isolation if the U.S. steps back. China can squeeze Manila with trade and maritime pressure. The U.S. offers a security umbrella, but not without cost. The government must defend its rights without provoking disaster. Every decision is scrutinized for how it tilts the balance. The C-17's landing forces Manila to choose, and brace for the fallout. The nation's fate hangs on its leader's ability to walk the tightrope. The world is watching their every step. The C-17's arrival and China's fury have pushed the South China Sea closer to the brink. A single misstep could trigger a conflict between nuclear powers. The key is communication. Military and diplomatic channels must stay open to prevent disaster. International law, especially the 2016 tribunal ruling, must remain central to any solution. The alternative is instability and the risk of war. Subic Bay's shadow is a warning: peace is fragile and leadership is needed. The world hopes for wisdom to prevail. The next chapter is unwritten.